Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you to each of you for taking the time to be here today. We have really an important topic today, and this is what we're calling an executive briefing. So, welcome to all of you executives, right? Our Carol and I have extremely ambitious plans this year. We're on a big mission. Carol will tell you about her mission here very shortly, but we are going to be doing a lot more executive facing, client oriented programs in the very near future in the C Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. And of course, we welcome everyone to our program. So, with that, thank you for being here. So happy we have got a great program because we're talking about how important it is to really go in with this new administration. Carol and I had so many aha moments to really talk about what's next. And you as a coach, consultant, trusted advisor, thought leader, even you have a career in whatever kind of career you have, you must be forward thinking. And so today's program is all about that. And so I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. It is the joy of my life to be gathering, connecting smart, powerful women who are committed to being helpers. That's who we are as coaches and consultants. And each of you who are here, you're a helper in the world. And that's part of the theme for today. I'm a speaker, an author, and a coach. I'm celebrating my 25th anniversary this year on May 31st. So I'm very excited about that. So I know there are a lot of words on the screen, but I want to just kind of set a little bit of context for us and then turn the program over to Carol. So we know with the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency new initiative, and again, today is not about politics, it's not about the election, it's not about any of that. We're, as our coaches and consultants, we're moving forward into what is and what will be. We have our own little crystal ball, right? And our clients rely on us to advise what's next? How do we position ourselves? So for each of you, it's really an important time to be thinking about how can I adjust and also capitalize on what's coming next, okay? Because a third of the population gets it. They're like us. They're moving forward. A third is in the middle, kind of being indecisive, thinking, well, something like AI, I'm not quite sure. This new DOGE, I don't know. And a third of the population, bless them, will never get it. Okay, so we're speaking to you as leaders in your careers, in your businesses, in your life to help the world move forward. So what has been stated, and I'm going to do another briefing on exactly more of the specifics of this, but I've been really delving into this because it's important. But what has been stated by Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in this new DOGE initiative is aggressive budget cuts. Okay. They're initiatives to bring the workforce back into the office. Okay. So I'd love for each of you be thinking about, because we're all about taking action here, in our council. How do these initiatives, what's the implication of them for the workforce, in the economy, in the global world, in the environment, whatever it is, and how can I be an advisor to my clients for this? Okay, so what we know for sure is there will be aggressive budget cuts. Like it or don't like it, it's going to happen, but we don't know exactly the specifics, but we have a little visibility as to how things are going to happen. There's also an innovative governance approach. The DOGE initiative is how to be more entrepreneurial in government. So you're going to see more partnerships. We're going to see more outreach, more innovative thinking, and also transformational shifts, major shifts in trade policy. You've heard about tariffs that are coming. Okay. Whatever your political opinion is, I lovingly say we got to put it aside because these are things that are going to be happening. And regulations possibly in not only the public sector, but the private sector. Okay, so these are the three initiatives just of the DOGE advisory. So as we know, we can put our head in the sand. Our clients can put our head in the sand. Our colleagues, our association, our organization partners can just not say, hey, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to weather the storm. Okay. or we can get into the downstream of this. Rather than paddling upstream, we can get into the downstream. And so hence today's program is to start the conversation about how do we position ourselves and how do we advise our clients to position themselves. And whether, in your household, how in your household going to be handling this, how in your business, your career, department, division, whatever it is. Okay. And so today is all about thinking about what's in the way. And one of the biggest things in the way of people repositioning themselves for optimum results is their LinkedIn profile, their visibility, their ability to get out in the world and tell the world, here's who I am, here's what I can do, here's why it matters, and here's the difference that I will make. Whether I'm a federal employee, I'm a state, I'm a local employee, I'm a municipality employee, partner. If you're in the supply chain, folks, you got to know about this, okay? Because the supply chain, we are going to be impacted big time. If you're on any sort of GSA schedules, the Government Services Administration schedule, if you're on GSA schedules or you want to be, you must know about these things, okay? So with that, we have chosen our C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, the best of the best. If you're an esteemed faculty member, you are the best of the best. We know that. And Carol Kaemmerer is the best of the best. So Carol's going to be speaking today about her journey in this whole mindset about how do I transform myself, my career, my visibility, and how do I go to the next step, and particularly with branding, personal branding, as well as LinkedIn. And so I'd love to also stop sharing and mention that, of course, Carol has written the book, folks, LinkedIn for the Savvy Executive. We want to work with the folks who have written the book, don't we? Yes. So please take yourself off mute. I invite you to take yourself off mute. Let's give Carol a warm C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council hello and welcome. Thank you,
Woohoo!
Carol.
The men here are absolutely distressed. They don't know what this is. This is our clapping.
We're glad everybody's
Yep.
here. And
Yes.
folks, we love pink. So, just how we roll, right? We love pink and we love pretty things, nice things, right? But we're down to
Absolutely.
business. So, Carol, let's thank you very much. Jazz hands. Exactly. Thank you, Karen. Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
Carol, please jump in. And I'm going to be your wing woman today. And doesn't everybody
Yes,
need a
yes.
wingman or a wing woman in their life, right? And in our
It
council,
is a
we're-
wonderful thing.
yeah.
So let's see. Here we go. Okay. So today I wanted to tell you why we're here. You see, my mission is to help individuals and companies do a great job on LinkedIn because that is our control over our career, not our jobs, but our career. Here's how I got into that. In 2008, three of my dear executive friends lost their positions, which was not a surprise because many people in that downturn lost their positions. But what was just such a surprise to me was that a year later, they still hadn't landed, and they told me they guess they retired. Huh. Those people were about 55, and they had children still needing to go through college. They weren't ready to retire. And I was so concerned about how one little change could so derail a person that they could not get back on the horse. So it was a mystery to me why that happened until 2011 when I lost my job due to a corporate downsizing. And it was during my transition that I realized what happened to my friends in 2008. You see, by that time, LinkedIn executive recruiters had abandoned looking through reams of resumes, and instead they were sitting at ease, looking at LinkedIn, trying to find the ideal candidate for the positions that they had to fill. My friends had invisible profiles. These are profiles that are so skeletal that they don't rank at all. Well, that's not true. They rank so low that nobody finds them. I wanted to change that. And so today we are going to take some time to make sure that you know some things that you could do that would help you on your LinkedIn profile. My experience is that when people have lost their job is the absolute worst time to work on your LinkedIn profile because it's like getting kicked in the gut. It's hard. It's like a death. You have to grieve. You lose your ability to articulate who you are, what you do, and why you add value. So ahead of this year, which I'm so concerned about in terms of lots of people being affected with their job security, I wanted to present this material, which is my LinkedIn Brilliance Framework. So Kathleen will cue up the first slide.
Carol, we're ready to
Oh,
go. And by the way, folks, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Okay, we'll have some a little time for Q&A as well. So thank you.
okay, Kathleen, there we go.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to scroll back just a little bit because we want to see the very first one, which just says lead with authenticity. So yeah, you're going the wrong way. All right. So I know that every LinkedIn profile that is truly powerful leads with authenticity. Your story is your brand. And it's so important that we actually take time and tell our story because that's the way that we connect. We build trust. You've all seen profiles where they're leading with their services. The only thing that you see in their about section is the services or the products that they're selling. They're trying to sell through their about page. Well, I'm trying to sell through my about page too, but I'm selling who I am. I'm selling my purpose, my passion, my personality. And that's what I urge you to do with your LinkedIn profile is think about what you want to say. And that brings me to point number 2. Focus with the rule of 3. Now, you may or may not know what that means, but the rule of 3 is kind of a framework that preachers and teachers and authors and speakers and orators of all time have used to make their points stand out. Think of, I came, I saw, I conquered. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When we speak simply, we speak with clarity. So I challenge you when you are thinking about how to add value to your LinkedIn profile to start with this question. What are the 3 things you want to be known for? When people have looked at your profile and they've closed their computer, what will they remember about you? Now, as a marketing communications person, I know that if we try too many key things, key messages that we're trying to communicate in the same document, that people's eyes glaze over after a while. And it's the same with this rule of three. When we speak clearly with three, we look focused. People know what we stand for. If, however, we decide, as I did when I was 30, I decided that I wanted to be known for six things. Somebody asked me that really early in my career, and I wanted to be known for six things because I was so special, don't you know? But the problem is, it doesn't work like that. Six is not twice as good as three. As a matter of fact, it's not half as good as three because three is memorable, and more than three makes you look unfocused. And when you're unfocused, you're not anybody's answer to any question they ever had. So use the rule of three to guide your writing on LinkedIn. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is this point down here: maximize your digital real estate. So every section on LinkedIn can be a powerful way to communicate your story. And you want to make sure that you're milking it for all it's worth. There are people who would say, well, we have the attention of a goldfish. And so that's just really not going to work, Carol. We want to write short. Here's the fallacy. One is people love stories, and you cannot communicate your story in 3 sentences in your about section. You just can't. But here's the bigger deal. LinkedIn is primarily a search engine, and it's searching for the keyword that is in the search that's being done, and how does that stack up with your profile? It's not a matter of, is it there or is it not there? But rather, how many times does that keyword show up? So if in the about section, which is a big section, Sally over here has written, say, 3 sentences, and my clients are taking maximum advantage of that digital real estate, and they are using 5 paragraphs, who will naturally have their keywords appearing in context more often? Well, I hope that you know that the answer is the person who writes more. It's not because we want to be blowhards, but because we want to share our purpose, our passion, and our personality. And we're doing it within the limits of LinkedIn. So, by the way, when you are taking those 3 things you want to be known for, we can put them in the headline. The headline has the maximum character count of 220. The about section has a maximum character count of 2,600. Now, 2,600 probably doesn't communicate very well to you, so it's like 5 paragraphs. And then the experience section, we have another 2,000 characters that we can use to communicate our accomplishments. Because when we have accomplished in the past, people know that we will accomplish in the future. So even if the position doesn't seem directly related to the position that they are looking at you for, it doesn't matter. What you're communicating is that you are a person who knows how to plan, execute, and move that needle. So the other thing is that there are many sections on LinkedIn that are hidden that we can use to showcase our brand and our story. You'll find them under optional sections, and they are things like publications, patents, awards, honors, organizations, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure that you are checking out those additional sections, as well as really using the character count as your target. Of course, you want to stay under it because it won't accept more characters than it allows. But the concept is that when we write with intention and we write to the limits, we have the best chance of being found. Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute and backtrack a little bit to that rule of three. And Kathleen, if you would get ready to give us 2 minutes on your timer, what I'm going to ask you to do is spend just 2 minutes thinking about what are the 3 things you'd like people to know about you after they close your LinkedIn profile. Is everybody good with that? Okay.
Repeat one more time what you'd like everybody to do, because this is an important takeaway from our time together.
Yes, yes. So what I want you to do is concentrate on this task. What are the 3 things you'd like to convey about your career, what you do, what you can do in this 2 minutes? And write them down, because this could be helpful to you when you go to up-level your LinkedIn profile.
And here we go.
Okay. So Kathleen has 2 minutes on our timer, and we can take advantage of that.
Well, we have a very studious group of attendees today, don't we? Very impressed. Hi.
Love it. So I hope that that was helpful to you. Can you put our slide back up, Kathleen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This
So,
timer has a mind of its own, folks.
oh,
You know it
yes.
does. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. Melissa is coming in. Okay. I wanted to just backtrack for a bit on that. Focus on the rule of 3. I hope that that exercise of just taking a pause in one's day and thinking about the 3 things that you'd really like people to remember about you is helpful. One of the things that we want to do with this list of 3 things is to make sure that it finds its way into your headline, into your about section, and also into your skills. And I wanted to go through those 3 ways. So I know that many of you have probably seen headlines that seemingly go on forever. That's because we have 220 characters, and that is a lot of text. But if these headlines that go on forever are punctuated and chopped up with pipes and slashes so that it's like every moniker that the person ever went by, it's hard to read. And more than that, it's hard for people to think of you as focused. It's hard for them to focus on what you've said because it's hard to read. So if you are known for 3 things, like Kathleen and I both could say, speaker, author, coach. Okay, well, that's 3 things. But you can also put in your 220 characters 3 ways that you make a difference to your clients or your customers, or 3 outcomes that you help people achieve. So it's possible to use more than one group of 3, but please don't chop up your headline with a bunch of pipes or slashes, because it really is very hard to read and it doesn't stick and it doesn't serve you. So the second area that you want to use it in is your about section. And your about section, I already told you, is 5 paragraphs long. So we can dedicate 3 of those paragraphs to sharing why you are known for those things, those 3 things. And then in your skills, the top 3 skills should align nicely with the top 3 things you want people to remember about you. Now, the reason that that's important is that in 2023, LinkedIn changed the way that they address skills in the algorithm. And the top 3 skills get the most weight. And so we want to make sure that we are using those top 3 digital real estate spaces for the most impactful keywords for us. So that's finishes what I have to say about maximizing digital real estate and focusing on the rule of 3. So the next thing in this framework is make a visual impact. This is so important because when we are making a digital or a visual impact, people linger longer. And when they linger longer, they develop a stronger impression of you. So I wanted you to put in the chat, what are some things that you think you can do to add visual impact to a profile? Go ahead and put those in the chat, and Kathleen will read those out, and we'll have time to discuss.
Also, folks are putting in the chat, thank you to you, your top 3 things that you want to be known for, your other prompt, thank you. And then I love this. These are great ideas of visual cues, visuals, right, Carol? Thanks,
Yes.
Molly. Photos, scissor reels, excellent. Thank you, Susan. Powerful banner, headshot. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. And yes to all that, right? And also to mention, Brent, love what you put of marketing quick and accurate reports and quotes, company culture, orientations. Because aren't we all one thing, a takeaway from today too, is we've got to be picking up the pace here. Not like it's, frenetic, but people now are looking and reading and listening at 1.25 or higher, right? Everything. I do everything 1.25. So we've got to be moving and picking up the pace, right?
Yeah.
Anybody relating to what I'm saying? Give me a little jazz hand sparkle. Yeah, we got to be picking things up. Yeah. So yeah. And thanks for using the word Brent quick because we need to be quicker. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes to all. Of course, Sheila, links to media appearances. Yes. To you're on TV. You leverage that, lady. It's awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. Good. Good. Great. Carol,
Okay.
these are fantastic ideas.
They are.
What would you
So,
add, Carol?
okay, mostly what I want to talk about is adding those things in specific spots. So the very first thing that nobody mentioned because everybody's got one, but it's your headshot. So if your headshot doesn't do you justice, it is time to get to the photographer. It's really important because people remember you as your headshot if they don't see you in person. You will always be only as good as your headshot. So if you've got a lame headshot, it's time to book that appointment. And then the second thing that we really need to do is to have a banner image. The image that is behind your headshot is that green gray, not exciting image. And we can bring energy and power and on brandedness to that space just by either using our company logo and company colors or sourcing a great picture that evokes your brand. Maybe your brand is like a speedy race car. Maybe it's like a bubbling brook. Perhaps you are the light coming through the forest trees. Find an image like that. Kathleen is going to put my two favorite free places to find stock images. They are stocksnap.io and unsplash.com, and they'll be in the chat. So make sure that you are grabbing those. And we can also add words to that if we use canva.com, or you can do it in PowerPoint actually, but canva.com will actually find you that magic third of the picture that you're really going to get. Make sure that you're never trying to show a picture where the action is from the top to the bottom because it's not going to fit in the space that you have for that banner image. So that's one place. Another place is if you don't have a featured section, this is your moment. You would find it under the optional sections, and you want to make sure that you are using that for the great articles that you've written, for video, for news stories about you, whatever it is that you've got, pictures of your team doing community service kinds of things. I know in Minneapolis, a really common team activity is packing food for Feed My Starving Children. And it's such a fun experience. And they've got it all there for taking team pictures. So any of those kinds of things that can bring, I don't know, fun and more content to your brand is what I'm talking about. And all these things that you guys names in the chat, we can also put them, we can attach them to our about section. We can attach them to any one of the positions that we have. But when you do that, the pictures don't show up very nicely. They, if it's a vertical picture, it still shows up horizontally. So you see somebody's middle section. It's just not very fun. But make sure that that you are using rich media, because the longer they linger, the stronger the impression of you. And that's what we're talking about. Okay, if you would share our next slide, or the same slide, Kathleen, we'll go to the last of the points here, and that is engage with intention. You see, LinkedIn is more than just a catalog of profiles. It is an opportunity to build relationships. Relationships is what LinkedIn is supposed to be all about, because relationships build connections. Connections build opportunities. So we want to engage online, and it's not all about connecting, but actually getting to know the people that we're connected to. And of course, not all the people we're connected to, that would be impossible, but pick a few. And on the homepage, spend a little time sharing your love. What do I mean about that? Look at their posts. If it's a worthy post, if it is, an interesting article and you can tell that they've spent some time on it, please don't comment, great article, nice share. LinkedIn in 2024 operationalized their idea of what engagement is. And it is a response emoticon, of course, and a comment of 5 words or more. Now, if you think about it, you have to actually think to write a comment of 5 words or more. None of these congrats or you go girl kind of things are going to move the needle. The reason that that's important is that when you bother to engage, you should be providing value 3 ways. So number 1, you want to really honor the person whose material you are commenting about. And we do that first by tagging them and then amplifying something. Like, I love your point number 3 because I've seen that same principle in action so well with many of the teams that I've led over time, and go from there. Something like that. It provides value to the person who wrote, and it provides value by amplifying and giving extra credence to what they wrote. And that is helpful to other readers. And when you've been helpful to the author and to other readers, guess what? You are helpful to yourself as well. People see you as a thoughtful person, someone who is capable of good comments and who actually stops to think before they write. So wouldn't you like to be known as a person like that? When we engage with intention, we actually grow our brand. And we do have to give to get as well. So I've seen lots of senior leaders think, well, I wrote an article and I put it out there. What more do you want? Well, hey, did you ever go back and comment back to the people who bothered to say something nice to you? Um, it's really important to have that back and forth. We have to give in order to receive. We have to build our network online stronger than just you're connected. This is an opportunity to grow those connections, to nurture those connections. And when we do, our profile rises to the top more quickly than if you hadn't done any of those things at all. So it's not the primary driver of whether we are found on a LinkedIn keyword search, but it is one of those enhancers. So that is my framework. And I have a couple more slides. So why don't we stop here now? And before I talk about ways I can help, and just share, what did you learn? What are your takeaways? What's resonating? So if you come off mute, we've got a small enough group we
Yes.
could share that way.
I'll jump in, Carol. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for me, I really, the three things you want to be known for really caused me to think about it. And so I jotted some stuff down, and I know I need to kind of go back and rethink that. So for me, that was probably the biggest takeaway, and how do I integrate that? And then I hadn't understood the algorithms and whatnot, and to comment with 5 words or more. And I'm not as good as Susan Younger at that, and I'm going to try to match.
She is wonderful, isn't she?
Is. I'm going to try to match that.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Great takeaway, Gloria. That's a great takeaway. And you do a very fine job, by the way. Yeah. Quick question. How many of you, since knowing Carol, have been cognizant of, I've got to write more than 5 words. I've got to really, not like I don't want to write an essay. I don't want to, but how many, I mean, I am, it never occurred to me. Carol, fabulous. Yes. And quick question for you. How many of you who have posted authentically on other people's posts and affirmed, asked a question, did something powerful to edify that person, you've gotten new opportunities or new relationships as a result of it? Yeah. Yeah. So Carol, your strategy works, dear. Strategies, plural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And we're going to wrap up here in a moment. Carol, do you want to call on a couple other folks?
Okay. Yeah. Any other takeaways that you're willing to share?
I added in the chat
Carol.
that to explore those hidden sections more. I mean, I knew about the featured one, but I think there's obviously more to those things that I just don't worry about most of the time. And now I need to go back and do a better job with.
Okay.
Thank
And I
you.
saw Karen. Thank you. I saw Karen next.
Thank you. Yeah, Carol, I wanted to say I'm just so smitten with your brilliance framework. I mean, every good consultant has a great framework, and that you nailed it. So that's a huge thumbs up. It makes it very easy to think about what should I attend to next. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I saw some other hand, but I don't remember where it was.
I think it was Gretchen. Didn't you have your hand up, Gretchen?
Well, I did, but someone else said the same thing about the 3 things that you want to be known for, remembered for, which is different than your 3 core offerings, possibly, like looking at all those alignments. So it took me a minute to get the right words. So that was a really useful little experiment.
Good. I hope that you'll be able to use that powerfully in your profile. Good. Anything else?
Well, Carol, I want to do a
I'll say
call
one
to
thing.
action. Yep, jump in, please. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. No, your book was really good, and it also once you go through and kind of complete and update your profile, it kind of gives you confidence too. And don't worry about what other people are thinking about you when you're posting stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wise words of wisdom there. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, move us on, Kathleen.
Yes, thank you. And by the
Thank
way,
you.
Carol is going to be taking this presentation on the road, okay, on Zoom to associations, organizations. You know, we're always kind of tweaking a little bit, and I'm going to be her wing woman among others. So if there are associations that you know of with people who are going to be, of course, making a job or career transition, not just the coaches and consultants, but people in the workforce, Carol is really honing in on that. So you would welcome all kinds of referrals, right, Carol?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And of course, we'll be posting the replay on social, and any sort of comments like you put in the chat, we would love that and appreciate that. And we will edify you back. You can count on that. So yes. So Carol, as
Fabulous.
we wrap up here,
All righty. So I have two primary ways to help the people in this audience, because all of you have high-level positions. And the first way is my VIP Opportunity Accelerator. So this is done for you, one-on-one engagement. I will work with you on your LinkedIn profile, and bookended by two 2-hour sessions, I will have your profile ready for upload in a week. It's powerful. My past background is in marketing communications. I'm bringing all of my writing and branding skills, and I can assure you that it will shine, because each one of you shines in your own light. I want to make sure that we bring that light to your LinkedIn profile. If you're interested in this, you can contact me, and we'll set up a one-on-one time to visit about that. The second is my LinkedIn Leaders Lab, and I call your attention to that right now because I'm planning the next cohort to start on January 28th. And right now, this LinkedIn Leaders Lab is available for the early bird price. So there's never been a better time. This is a 6-week group experience. So it's very different, and the price point is much lower than if I were working with you one-on-one. But people who have taken this course have found real value, not only in the teaching and learning experience and doing the homework themselves, but they feel that they are better in control of their profile because they know that they know how to do it. They know how to do it themselves. And that's great. This is for somebody who has the leisure of 6 weeks until their profile is done. But they also get the opportunity to bounce ideas off the group. And that's a wonderful, wonderful gift. So I'd love for you to really consider this option if you're interested in my help along your LinkedIn journey. So that's what I got, folks.
Carol, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We put everything in the chat, and let's complete our program. So exciting. And, to complete everything that you want to accomplish this year in 2025 with the DOGE, the new administration, whatever it is, your health, your vitality, your career, your business, and everything that your clients want, it's available to you with what we believe in our council is a powerful vision, powerful strategies, support, and community. And so, as an inspiration, let's help you build that for yourself and for the world who is waiting. Okay. Let's create opportunity in this new year. And so thank you to you, Carol. Awesome. And we're known for great programs that are very actionable and things that you can take away to have your business and career be even more visible and more profitable and more successful. So one of the things we're doing next Friday is a little pop-up. We're featuring our STEAM faculty members. We're going to have breakout rooms about how to recommit strategies on different parts of your health, your vitality, your career, your business, overcoming objections, sales, whatever your expertise is as an esteemed faculty member, leadership, whatever it is, teamwork. You can be in your breakout room, and we're going to have people, we're having the LinkedIn world come to our pop-up. So it's just 1 hour. Check it out. It's going to be fun. And of course, at the end of the month on the 30th, we're talking about how to attract more opportunities. We're done with chasing, right? Whether it's clients, whether it's new jobs, whatever it is, we're done with chasing, and how to use time-tested, true strategies to attract more what you want in your life. And of course, on February 6th, we're so delighted to be featuring esteemed faculty member Liz Luckett. She's talking about how to open your heart and have your heart be the access to more power, more success. And we're using the word heart. Yes, we are. We're also in the month of February, we're using the 4-letter word love. Okay, so that's what we're about in our council. Help us to promote you, showcase you, and highlight you. We love for you to join our council. Schedule a one-on-one with me, calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell, and we cannot wait to have you join us in our council. We're going big this year, ladies and gentlemen, big, big, big. So curious, put it in the chat or unmute yourself, please. What's your biggest takeaway? Like in literally a word or a phrase. What's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Biggest takeaway. You know, we put a little bookend on things, right? Biggest takeaway. Feel free, put it in the chat or jump off mute. Yeah, thank you to all of you. It's a great program, Carol. Yeah, Susan, jump in, please.
Thanks again, Carol. And I think it's that importance to do a refresh of LinkedIn more frequently than most of us do. And, you know, just listening into Carol today, it's like, okay, what else do I need to go and look at? The things you forget about, getting back to those. Thank you.
Excellent. A little recharge, right, Susan? A little charge. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Gretchen, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, I did a different LinkedIn training quite some time ago, and they're saying if you want to stand out on like Instagram, you have to do 18 posts and 3 reels a day. Facebook is flooded with ads. For LinkedIn, if you post 2 or 3 times a week, you'll really start to stand out. And so I just in the past, like Monday, started launching some things, and my SSI score has already gone up by 2%. And usually that takes a long time, and it's been 48 hours. So it's a lot easier to stand out.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Very
As a matter
nice,
of
Gretchen.
fact,
Thank you.
You can post too many times and it cannibalizes your audience. So LinkedIn is a very different animal than the other social media.
And
I
Carol,
wanted
know
to,
thy animal, right?
yeah, I
Know thy
wanted to,
animal, right?
I want to make sure that everybody knows how to save the chat. It's the 3 little dots in the top right corner. And if you click on that, then you'll have the chat available in case you want some of those things that Kathleen wrote in there for me. So
Great. Well,
thank you
folks,
so much.
thank you. Have a great day.
I am honored
and
that you came.
Great.
Bye.
A great 2025.
Thank
Pick yourself
you.
up, mute. Let's say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
great day.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you, Carol. Beautiful. Thank you.